welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be picking my October reads using my TBR jar. Now, this is not my usual TBR jar. In fact, I smashed my TBR jar. So this is a replacement for now until I get a new TBR jar. If you can hear something, Teddy is deciding to go a bit mad across the room. He's on his back. Now he's sneezing. It all adds to the character of the video. I'll try and show you him. Hang on. You're sniffing the TBR jar. You're sniffing the TBR jar. You want to help pick a book? He is so close to me, I literally cannot get him in focus. Want to help? You want to pick a book? Any book? You just here for moral support. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Gorgeous boy. Thank you. Anyway, back to the video. So we will be picking my October reads using my TBR jar. But before we get into that, I have actually completely revamped my TBR and I now have it all on this trolley. So I'm going to show you the process of how I got to this now, because this was like last week. So watch this footage and then we will actually pick my reads for October. Since I've managed to clear this room out a little bit more, I now have my TBR cart free. It's no longer got random stuff in it. It is now a TBR cart again. And so I want to sort my bookshelves out and I want to create myself a TBR cart. Now the issue I have is that I have 145 books on my TBR, which is way too many to put in the cart. And so we need to sort out what's going on with this situation so we can decide what we actually want on our TBR versus just keeping it for the sake of it. Teddy's assisting with his toys. Oh, you got Ted's. Teddy, where's that? Teddy is chief TBR organizer, aren't you, Ted? He's bought his toys for the job. What we have is we now have this TBR cart here. So for now, this is where it's going to live. Ignore all of this. We need to fill this. These are the 2 physical books I have left on my September TBR. I've bought all of my cleaning implements so that I can clean my bookshelves as I go, as it is going to mean we're going to need to reorganize. On here, we have a couple of rows of TBR. We've got, this is a TBR shelf here-ish. We've got one here, a little bit here. My shelves are all over the shop at the bottom, if you haven't already noticed. So we're going to do a clear out, organise our TBR, and then we'll reorganise the bookshelves. This is what we're working with so far. So let's get to it. I'm scared to do this. So all I had in my TBR cart was my 2 remaining physicals from my September TBR. I'm just going to put them to the side, and what we're going to do is we're going to start going through my bookshelves and deciding what I want to keep or what I would like to sell or unhaul. Once we've decided that, I think my plan is going to be that in the TBR cart we will put paperbacks. Paperbacks, I think we will start with that and then we'll see how we get on. I currently have 145 physical books on my TBR, so we'll see what I can get it down to and go from there. I'm gonna just start going through. Now, I have read these books here, however, I already know that I have a section of them that I think I'm going to unhaul and sell, because as much as I really enjoyed them, especially these 2, Yours Truly and the Unhoneymooners, I don't think I want to keep the physical books in my stash. They're gonna go on the unhaul pile. The only downside to this activity is I'm gonna end up with huge gaps on my shelf, so I'm gonna have to rearrange my bookshelves as well, which is gonna be a whole thing on itself, but it's fine. I do think I want to keep these. I know I don't want to keep this. However, I have got the other 2 books, so I need to decide if I'm going to keep these or not. If I am, I'll keep it because then I'll sell them as a set. But if not, then I'll throw. So I'll just put it here for now. I'm not sure about Happy Place. I have this weird thing where I don't really want to keep books that aren't in a series because I prefer making a display rather than just having like loads of uncoordinated random books on a shelf. Does that make any sense, or am I just really weird? So I think I might part with this as well. I am keeping this because I recently got this in Belgium with my besties, so I'm definitely keeping that. I do also have the hardback, so I don't know whether to keep that or sell that or not at the moment, but yeah, I'm keeping that. And then my favourite thrillers. I'm not really a thriller reader, but I absolutely love these 2, so I will definitely be keeping them. They are red, so I need to figure out something with those. Next, we've got X's and O's and The Catch by Amy Lee. Let's have a little look. So X's and O's. Tara Chen has had her heart broken 10 times by 10 different men. Nevertheless, she is still determined to find her perfect match. The only problem, Tara is a romance novel obsessive and her standards are sky high. Modern dating apps have killed the meet cute, so Tara decides to revisit her exes in the hope of finding her own trope-worthy second chance romance. And every heroine needs a sidekick, so she enlists her new flatmate, firefighter Trevor. Trevor Metcalf is the first to rush into a burning building, but the last to rush into a relationship. Love just isn't his his thing, but the more time they spend together, the more Trevor appreciates Tara's authentic, dramatic self. Can they break the habits of a lifetime and give their spark a chance? I actually really like the sound of that, which is really annoying because now I'm going to want to keep it. I think we're going to have to keep it. Don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start piling them up and then I'll figure out how I want to organise them at a later date. Then we have the second one, which is The Catch. In a last-ditch attempt to rescue her brand from the brink of irrelevance, fashion influencer Melanie Carlson finds herself in a rural fishing village on the east coast of Canada. The only thing scarier than nature itself, burly fisherman Evan Whaler, what a name, who single-handedly disproves the theory that Canadians are nice. After a boating incident lands Evan in the hospital, Mel is mistaken for his fiancée by his welcoming yet quirky family, and in exchange for Evan's help with her social media content, Mel agrees to fake their engagement for just 1 week. But reeling in their budding feelings for each other proves more difficult than expected. See, I'm not as keen on the sound of that, but again, because I'm wanting to keep the one, I'm going to have to keep the whole series because I think there's 3 of them. So we're going to keep them for now, and we shall see. The Light That Blinds Us. I have heard really good things about this. I'm really not sure. I'm going to keep it for now. The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. My gut is to get rid of this. Let's see. 8:52 a.m. Siobhan's looking forward to her date with Joseph. Breakfast on Valentine's Day surely means something, so where is he? 2:43 p.m. Miranda's hoping that a Valentine's Day lunch with Carter will be the perfect way to celebrate her new job, but why hasn't he shown up? 6:30 p.m. Joseph Carter promises to be Jane's fake boyfriend at the dreaded engagement party tonight. He's not here. Meet Joseph Carter. That's if you can find him. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't sound like overly thingy, and I'm also not entirely sure if I have this on my Kindle. If I have this on my Kindle, I will get rid of it. Let's check. Okay, so I know I've got a Beth O'Leary book on here, and it's right at the bottom of my TBR. It's The Switch, not The No-Show. This just proves to me that I need to shop my TBR more when I am picking a book, because when I read the blurbs, I want to keep them. I feel like I'm not going to get very far ahead, so let's keep that for now. Never Forget You. A chance meeting. When Lily meets Ben one hot summer's day, it feels like fate. Yet life is about to take them in different directions, so they agree to meet again in a year's time. But one of them never shows up. 5 years later, Ben still wonders how he let the love of his life slip between his fingers. Then a stranger, Alice, arrives in his tiny Scottish hometown with no memory of how she got there. The only clue to her past is the silver bee necklace that she wears, the very same one Ben gave Lily that magical summer's day. As Ben, Lily, and Alice's stories converge, so begins a beautiful and deeply emotional novel of love and second chances. Okay, but that sounds really good as well. Guys! Right, okay, we're not going very far. The Intimacy Experiment. This is really floppy, by the way. I love that. The thing is, this has got really tiny font, so I think I'd end up wanting to read this on Kindle anyway. I did love another Rosie Denan book that I read. Oh my god, this is not going well. Right, buy the book. Isabella's completely lost. When she first began her career in publishing after college, she did not expect to be 25, still living at home and one of the few black employees at a publishing house. Overworked and underpaid, constantly torn between speaking up or stifling herself, Izzy thinks there must be more to this publishing life. So when she overhears her boss complaining about a beastly high-profile author who has failed to deliver his long-awaited manuscript, Isabel sees an opportunity to finally get the promotion she deserves. All she has to do is go to the author's Santa Barbara mansion and give him a pep talk or 3. How hard could it be? Izzy quickly finds out she's in over her head. Bo Towers is not some celebrity lightweight writing a tell-all memoir. He's jaded and withdrawn, and it turns out just as lost as Izzy. But despite his standoffish, Izzy needs Bo to deliver. I can already tell I'm not into this, so this is going. Root Bound by Tara Dewitt. I have to say that I recently read The Co-op and I wasn't overly impressed by it, so I do feel like I'm inclined to not keep it. However, it is a cowboy. I've just read Cowboy on the back. No, I'm not. I'm getting rid of it. I'm not even going to read the back. I'm getting rid. Gothicana by Rue Nix. Now, I don't actually know what this is about. All I know is I bought this on Vinted. And yeah, let's see. Corvina Clem is a woman with secrets. The last thing she expects to receive is an admission letter from the University of Verrimore, a place just as secretive. Castle atop a mountain, Verrimore is steep in shadows, deceit, and death, a place where students have been disappearing every 5 years for over a century. As Corvina becomes caught up in unravelling the clues to solve the mystery, her path collides with Vad Deverell. Deverell is her enigmatic professor. Vad, too, is a man with secrets, and he cannot allow Corvina to get close enough to discover what he hides. But whenever she is near, his heart and soul yearn to possess her. As they become more and more entangled, their passion for each other could be the very thing to solve the mystery of Verrimore, or it could bring them both down in flames. I can't lie, I'm not really feeling this, so this is going. Red Queen. Now, I've heard that this is very similar to Akhtar, and I would love to read the series if it's any good. Let me know if it is in the comments. However, I don't think I'm going to buy the whole series. I think I will end up reading it on Kindle if I want to read it. It's telling me that I should sell it. Oh, I don't know. I struggle so much. Right, let's keep it for now. The Simple Wild by Kay Tucker. This just doesn't really call to me. Something about it just really doesn't, and so I think it's going. It is going. Check and mate. I have a love-hate relationship with Ellie Hazelwood. Oh, Teddy, hi! Hi, what are you snacking on? Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with her books. I enjoy them when I read them, but for some reason they just don't interest me when I first look at them. So I think I'm gonna get rid. I'm gonna get rid. And I think I'm inclined to say the same about Live to Love You as well. I think this is like steamy novellas as well, which is just not for me, because for me to enjoy spice, I need to get invested in the character relationships. And if the novellas, I think there's 3 novellas, how am I supposed to do that when they're going to be about 100 pages each? I'm going to get rid. Most of these books I bought over a year ago, and my reading taste has changed so much in that time. Variation, this is a no-brainer. This is absolutely staying. I love me some Rebecca Yarros. I'm just gutted that it's in this, like, well, I'm not gutted, but it's in this like kind of indie cover form rather than in her usual trad published. And the weird thing is that this came out recently, and she's obviously a trad published author, and obviously fourthing as well, so I'm a bit confused as to where that is. But anyway, The Secret of Flowers, or The Secrets of Flowers. I don't actually know what this is about, so let's have a little read. Follow the flowers and you'll find your way home. 1 year after her husband's death, Emma has become a wallflower, hiding among the brighter blooms in the florist where she works. But when a colleague invites her to talk about the Titanic, she begins a quest to uncover who arranged the flowers on board. As Emma discovers the lost story of the girl and the great ship, she realises that flowers may unearth long buried secrets in her own life. Will she be able to unlock the mystery of the Titanic and heal her heart too? Can't lie, I'm not really that interested, so I think we're going to get rid. Here we go. So this is a spread from the works, Love of My Afterlife. I do have this on my Kindle, so I am definitely getting rid of this one because I probably won't read it in the physical copy. I will most likely read it on my Kindle because, as we all know, I'm a Kindle reader. So I am going to get rid of that one. Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. Now again, this is a cute sprayed edge from the works, but I have a... oh, I need to crack the paint on it. I have a love-hate relationship with F1 romances. I am an F1 girly, and I am yet to find an F1 romance that I actually enjoy. So if you have any of those recs, let me know. But I do feel like I am not going to enjoy this that much, so I do feel like I should just sell it because there are other books that I would rather pick up. Love Redesigned and Love Unwritten. I got these for my birthday off Pete last year, and I still need to read these. I do really like Lauren Asher. I really enjoyed the Dreamland Billionaire series, so I do want to read those. I think Old in the Rains is one where I think I have it on my Kindle, so let's check. I'm pretty sure I do anyway. I do, I have Hold in the Rains. That's settled. This is going in the unhaul pile. Filthy Rich Vampire, again, I do have these on my Kindle and I'm just not interested in purchasing the whole series. This is going in the pile. Now, Phantasma, this is the indie version. I am so excited to read this book. However, I've bought the Fairy Loot version of Phantasma and Enchantress. Sorry, Teddy's being really cute down here. And so I am going to sell this because I have the hardback, obviously the special edition hardbacks. And then Wilder by Rebecca Yarros, again another one where I love me some Rebecca Yarros, so she can go on there. It upsets me so much that I have like different hype books on here, but it's fine. I do have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy I do need to read, but I don't know if I want it on here because I like how this looks, but maybe we could move it. Don't know how I want this to look, you see. We then also have down here, we have the Blood and Steel and Fate and Furies copies, and then we have Avalon Tower as well. I'm super excited about those. They are going to go onto the TBR cart. They don't really have a home at the moment. They're just kind of sat there. I think I need to get books 2 and 4 because I'm not sure if they're going out of print or not. These 2 books have different colour pages, which is random. I think they might be going out of print or they might be getting published at some point. So they will definitely go onto the TBR cart. We also have Crescent City. This also needs to go on the TBR cart because it is hefty. Teddy's doing a little itch, aren't you, Teddy? And then also down here we have the Lady of Darkness series, which I just need the last one, I believe. The annoying thing about this is that they actually came to me with these marks on the top of them. Not ideal, really. They look like I've not looked after them very well, but I very much have. And then last, but certainly not least, is the Gods and Monsters, City of Gods and Monsters. Oh, it's the House of Devils series. I have the first 3 in those, so they will also need to go on the TBR cart. Then I also have The Lies of Lena and Riftborn, which I am super excited to get to. And that's mine. He's army crawling. Do it. It's mine. Mine. He's army crawling. I have read these, but don't give them away. I think I'll keep them. I just need to find a place for them to live because I love indie books, but I don't like how they don't sit right in terms of spacing and stuff like that. Very frustrating. Anyway, let's move on to the other shelf. I think in terms of TBR, that is most of the TBR of this particular bookshelf. The only thing that I haven't read on here is I haven't read Dagger and the Flame, and then I've got The Throne of Secrets, which I might actually sell, to be fair. I think The Throne of Secrets I might sell because I don't have the first book, and so having the collection of them doesn't make much sense in actual copy because I'm just a Kindle reader. I just want to have books that I absolutely love, and I'm not going to be collecting the hardback of this, so it's just not going to look right on my shelf. So I will be getting rid of that one. I also have a copy of The Rebel Witch. Now that's difficult because I have the Fairy Loot of The Rebel Witch coming, but I also have only that version of Crimson Moth. Also, I tried to start organising them by colour order, which is why Crimson Moth is over there and Rebel Witch is over there. Just in case you were interested, I've realised you can't even see, so let me show you. Up here. Crimson Moth is over here, and then The Rebel Witch is over there. Love the Dagger and the Flame cover. I actually am super excited to read that and then potentially get a Rebel and Rose. I also have a thingy relationship with these because I am yet to read the third book, but I'm not actually bothered about reading the third book. And I bought these American covers, and they are gorgeous. Like, I love them, but I'm not sure if I actually want to read this book or not. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have this on my shelf. I've just realised I'm talking to you, and I'm like, yeah, I realised maybe I shouldn't have it on my shelf. I don't know. Kind of complex for me. I have a lot of weird feelings about books and my book collection and stuff at the minute. So yeah, it's a difficult one. It is a difficult one. Now we move on to this side. We have a lot of paperbacks on here that I haven't read. And there's also a hell of a lot of hardbacks I haven't read. However, I don't think I'm going to put hardbacks on my TBR cart. I think I'm just going to do the paperback. The only thing I will say is that there are 3 paperbacks up the top, which you guys can't see at the moment. Let me grab them. This is the Legacy series by Melissa Rorick, who is the author of the Lady of Darkness series as well. I do have these in the indie covers, so I'm going to put these on my TBR cart, I think. But now I'm going to have to replace the whole top. To be fair, my Grim and Oro should be coming soon, so I'll fill that gap with that. In terms of TBR, we also have this shelf. Now, I'm going to be putting all of these books onto my TBR cart. The only thing I have already read is The Conditions of Will. I haven't read Fate, Fortune, Fire or Summer Island, so I will be putting them on the TBR cart. Again, these are all hardbacks. Everything then from the top down is hardbacks other than this shelf until we get to my Zodiac shelf, which is this one, and then also this one. I do have 2 Zodiac paperbacks put on, which, to be honest, I do feel like I should keep them here so that they follow on. And then I have my Gallows Born series, which I'm super excited to get to. And I have 2 arcs, which again, they should go on my TBR cart. We then have, I think I'm going to sell my copy of Onyx Storm because I have the Fairy Leap version and I just don't need both. So I'm going to sell my Onyx Storm. We've then got the Consider Me series by Becca Matt. These are hockey romances, which I normally absolutely love. I'm really not sure about whether I want to keep them. They are super pretty, but I need to see if they are calling my name. So let's read the blurb. Carter Beckett is the NHL's best player both on and off the ice. His career is at its peak, his team is performing better than ever, and there's no shortage of women to spend the night with. What more could he want? Olivia Parker isn't new to professional hockey players thanks to her best friend's boyfriend, but she has no interest in dating one herself, no matter how hot he is. And anyway, she loves working as a teacher and hanging out with her best friend, drama-free. Why would she want to spend her time stroking the ego of an arrogant athlete? But once Carter meets Olivia, he can't think of anyone else. Too bad for him, Olivia is hell-bent on keeping him at arm's length with no intention of giving in to his charm. Perhaps it's time for Carter to up his game. After all, nobody ever said he had to play fair. Sparks will fly as Carter does whatever it takes for Olivia to consider him. Teddy brought his toy up. I don't know, I'm just not overly bothered by them, to be quite honest. So I think I'm going to sell them. I do. I want to get to a point where I don't have a TBR that is that big that when I finish a book, I can't just look up a book online or look at my Goodreads TBR. My Goodreads TBR is books I don't own. Or, you know, if a friend's saying, oh, I'm going to read this, I fancy reading this, you want to read it with me? I can be like, yes. But at the moment, I have so many books on my TBR that I feel so much pressure to read books that I was interested in like 2 years ago now. It was 3 years ago. It was 2022 when I bought some of these books. Wow. So my reading tastes have just changed. They're different now and that's okay. I've learnt my lesson not to buy books to a point where I have so many I can't read them all because there's always new books coming out and I can get them on my Kindle. My Kindle is my best friend at the moment and I prefer having special editions. I just think they're so gorgeous, and my shelves, like this from here up on, well, sort of on this side, I'm not that keen on these two, but these 9 little cubby holes here are my absolute favourite shelves, and I just love staring at them. So for me, this is more what I want my shelves to look like, rather than just collecting books that I don't need and I'm not going to get around to reading, if that makes sense. We then have this Woven Kingdom, which I'm super excited about. I have heard amazing things and I honestly cannot wait to read this. I'm thinking about doing like a reading vlog, 1 month of me and maybe reading all 3 in the series. I think maybe it's for a 4th one now, I can't remember. If you'd be interested in that, let me know, because I really do want to get to these soon. Now, Dating Dr. Dill. This I bought in 2022, but I am under strict instructions that before I give this away, I am to read it, because Doe said I'm going to absolutely love it. So what Doe says goes, and so I need to read it. We then have, oh god, Spark of the Everflame. I am super excited to read this, and again, I want to do a buddy read with some of the girls in Discord with these. The size of this book is absolutely huge. I'm super excited and I really want to read these, so obviously these are staying, and they will be going on the TBR part. We then have, like, you can't see the chaos, or maybe you can actually, the chaos of my Elle Kennedy shelf. I absolutely love Elle Kennedy. I rated so many of her books 5 stars. However, I have the old covers. Thanks, Teds. My camera just randomly shut down then, which is not what you want. But also, while I was trying to sort it out, we had a little development. And that development was Teddy decided he wanted to chew my book. But now it has Teddy marks in it. It was literally gnawing on it. Oh, God. Not what you need, is it? Not what you need. Anyway, where were we? My Elle Kennedy shelf. I love Elle Kennedy books. However, I don't like that I have the old covers. I just don't find them that nice to have on my shelf. I don't like the spines, really. So I'm thinking of potentially selling these. I really don't know. So I'll have to think about these, I think. I don't think that's going to be a right now choice. I have all of the off-campus series. I have the Briar U series. I have the, what's the one that's got the Graham effect in it. I've also got the Good Girl Complex one. So I pretty much have all of her book series, I think. It shows how much I like her writing. We then have a whole other section down here. Wow, lovely. So we have Serpent in the Wings of Night and Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. I have to admit, I've kind of heard mixed things about these books. Some people love them, some people do not like them. I am kind of intrigued to try these and see how I get on with them, because I'm a little bit terrified to see what my opinion is. We then have the entire Shadow and Bone series and Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I'm really excited to get to those, but there's like 5 in total, and for some reason that feels like a lot, even though I started Zodiac. Don't tell me how that makes sense, just for some reason in my mind it does. We then have this series by Shane Rose. Now, I am not sure if I want to keep these or not. I think they are billionaire romances. So Dominic Hardy might have a fancy engineering degree, but he doesn't know a thing about baking. He doesn't even like sugar. So when he inherits my stepfather's resort with my bakery in the middle of it, neither of us are happy. But then Dominic gives me a proposal I can't refuse. I'll keep my bakery with one condition. Fake date him for 5 months. Keep his ex away by pretending we're in love. Stare into his piercing green eyes. Maybe share a kiss. I loathe him and his filthy mouth, even when he's using it on me. There's a fine line between love and loathing, and I think I've made the mistake of blurring it. Okay, I actually quite like the sound of that one. I might keep these. We then have Red Rising. Now, I do want to read this series. However, I am not going to buy the whole series in physical. Therefore, I think we can get rid of this one, and I will just get it on my Kindle and read it there. And I'm also not that keen on the covers either, to be fair. We then also have Blood Orange by Karina Hale. I absolutely loved this. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And even so much that I actually annotated it. But I just feel like I don't need it in my collection anymore, and it is just like a one-off. So I might see if somebody wants to have it, even with the annotations. And if so, they can do. Then we have A Touch of Chaos. Now, this one is slightly thingy because I read this series ages ago and I don't remember enough about it to want to carry on reading it, to be quite honest. But the thing is it is signed to me, and I'm not sure if people would want it or not. That is one that I think I will probably unhaul. I've unhauled everything that I'm going to. I just need to have a look at the pile, I think, and see what we have. But I'm also excited to see, because there's so many that I haven't read on here. Can't actually stack all of these without holding it. There are that many of them. This is just an idea of everything we are getting rid of. It's all going. And I'll update you on how many I have left on my TBR very shortly. It's now the next day and this is my situation. I have counted up my TBR and I actually have 124 books on there now. I have got rid of 21 books off the TBR, which I know that there's so many more I could probably get rid of, but this is what I'm going to keep for now. And I'm going to attempt to try and put all of these paperbacks onto this. Don't know how it's going to work. What I do know is that I want to keep this front section of the top for my monthly TBR so that I can actually see what is on it, but we'll see how that goes. Don't think I really have a system other than potentially maybe trying to keep the romance to one bit and fantasy to another. I don't know if that's going to work, but we shall see. So I'm just going to basically start putting them on and we'll see where we get to. Let's go in like this. I know that it fits too deep. We should be able to fit all of them on. The only issue might be my indie copies, like my massive ones, but I might have to put them at the top. So we have Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, Dating Dr. Dill. This series, which I really want to get to at some point because it's been too long. We have another Elle Kennedy series and we have a whole stack of Elle Kennedy here, so I wonder if we're going to get them in. I think it's the Graham Effect first, then the Dixon Rule, and the Charlie Method, I think. I'll put them in order if we can. Then Girl Abroad. So that's one side. And then let's go to the back. We've got Poppy War, which I want to try and get to ASAP because the Illumicrate versions are coming out soon and I want to see if I want them. Okay, we do have my Crescent City, which again I want to get to soon if I can. Got Lauren Asher Romance. Oh no, we've got a topple. We've got a topple. Oh no, no. Oh no. So they're romance, so let's put them down here. They fit in. I think they will fit in. Yes. Sis. Let's try one by one. Oh, I think we might be onto something here. Oh, right, so all my romance fits on the bottom, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. Two of these huge paperback, hardback things. So we'll put them the same. 1, book 2, 3. Blood and Steel, and that's The Lies of Lena. Now, my plan might not go so well here. We may not be able to fit our actual monthly TBR in here after all. I'm not sure if these are going to fit in with them. No. Okay, do they fit? Like so. Put in Reborn, Avalon Tower. Stay there, please. Are they gonna fit? I'm not sure that one can live with the rest of the series because that's on the shelf. I'm thinking Crescent City, we can just put them with Sarah J Maas down here somewhere for now. But that is, I think that's the TBR cart finished. We've got a romance at the bottom, we've got fantasy at the top, we've got one single romance at the top, but the rest of it is fantasy. And that will do nicely. I am very happy with that. It's very heavy. And then obviously I still have a load of hardbacks that are on my TBR that I need to also read. But now we've got to sort the shelves because the shelves are empty and that is just not okay. But I'm probably going to save that for a different video. For now, the TBR is sorted. I can pull October's TBR from the cart, which is exciting. I love that. So we're going to go through the books that are going to be definitely on my TBR and are definitely going to get read. And those are 4 Kristen Hannah books that I already own. I'm going to be doing a YouTube video reading the 4 Kristen Hannah books that I have, which is The Nightingale, The Women, The Great Alone and Summer Island. And I'm going to be ranking them. So one of them, The Great Alone, is my Patreon book club book for October. So that's going to be in its own reading vlog. But I'm going to do a reading vlog for the other 3 and then obviously rank all 4 at the end. Obviously, Summer Island is the only one that I have in physical. So obviously this is going to go into the TBR. Now, because I'm a mood reader and I do struggle to read all of the books that I pick on my TBR, we are going to change it up a little bit. We're going to do something different, aren't we, Teddy? We're going to do something a little bit different. And that is that we're going to mood read the TBR. So we're going to overpick reads and then any that are left over that I haven't read will then go into a little part, like a little virtual part, where my Patreon subscribers can then pick 1 or 2 reads to go over to the next month. So that's how we're going to do it from now on. We already have 4, like I say. We're just going to keep picking until I feel like I've got a good amount to go. And we're going to use the TBR jar to do so. I'm sorry, Teddy's so upset. But yes, right, first one. Got a pink book. now. Ooh, we have many options, but I kind of want to see if there are any that fit books where I really want to read them. So that's going to be series that I want to complete primarily. Okay, so this one works perfectly well actually. We have The Dare by Elle Kennedy. This is pink. This is one of the books that will finish off the Briar You series for me. So that is going to go onto the TBR. We then have a book with nature on the cover. Okay, interesting. Let us have a look. Aha, there is technically nature on it. Bear with me. I am working this in my favour today. This has nature on the cover, so we're going to do Wildcard by Elsie Silver. And this, again, is going to finish a series, so I'm excited about that one. I accidentally kicked my TBR jar over and now there's prompts on the floor. Let's do another one. Okay, a book with dual timelines. This is kind of a hard one because it's hard to know that unless you kind of look in the book a little bit. Potentially, let me Google. Oh, this couldn't have gone any better, I tell you. Okay, so this book, Rewind It Back, apparently does have dual timeline in it. The only thing with this one is I need to get Bestie Doe on board to buddy read it as we are buddy reading it together. But hopefully she will want to, and then again, that will tick another series off of my list. So really hoping to get to that one as well. Now, what I will say is I'm currently in the middle of the Natural series and I do really want to carry that on. I'm currently all in, but I have only just started reading it, so I'm probably not going to read that today. Today is the 30th of September, so I'm probably not going to read that today or finish it today. So that's going to be for next month, but I also want to read Bad Blood and 12 as well, which is a little novella, so that is 2 there as well. So we've got 5 Kindle reads and 4 physical so far, so let's carry on. Is there anything else that I particularly want to read this month? I think I'd just like to read as much as I physically can off my TBR, to be quite honest. But I also really want to read a series called Stalking Jack the Ripper because there is a Fairy Loot exclusive edition coming out and I really want to read it before it comes out in November, I think. I might try and add that in. I don't have anything specific, so... A blue book. What can we do with a blue book? I do feel like I should try and read as much as I can off TBR now. I do feel like a romance is a good shout here because I don't really want to start a new series when I'm trying my best to try and get through as many as possible. What do we have? I feel like all the blue ones on this side are midway through series, so maybe not. Maybe that's not such a good idea. Maybe we go for, how about Wilder by Rebecca Yarros. That is a blue book. We like that. It's like almost indie published. Yeah, I think we'll put this one on the TBR. Okay, there's quite a few physical reads there. I'm wondering if maybe I should get some Kindle. I mean, let's be honest, we all know that I'll probably get the Kindle books and read the Kindle versions of them, but maybe we should try and do some more on my Kindle. Oh, no! Start a series. That's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. Maybe I could start the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. It keeps focusing on my face rather than the camera. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco, I think her name is. Maniscalco. So I think maybe we'll start that. Yeah, so I think that's the series that we'll start because, like I mentioned, I do want to read them before the very exclusive editions come out. Fingers crossed. And let's add some more. I just love this part. I'll just keep picking books out of the jar and hope for the best. Ooh, okay, I like this one. Something from your Kindle library. That means we need to look on this bad boy. I have so many books on this Kindle that I need to read through some of them. Let's be honest. I tell you what we're going to do. I meant to read this last month and I didn't, and I do really need to read it this month because it comes out this month. So I'm going to read Daughter of Stone by B.A. Pepper. Again, if you watched my video last month, you'll know that this was in last month. This is her debut novel. There's a lot of Welsh mythology within the book. She's a lovely, lovely person. She's part of a pod of Smut and Wingspan, and yeah, she's just a lovely Welsh girlie. So if you haven't heard of her, make sure you get to know who she is. And yeah, I think I'm gonna try and get to this one this month. Okay, so let's go for a few more. Hey Teds. Eddie, wanna pick? Want this one or this one? Want this one or this one? This one. Yeah? No, it's not for you to eat. Hang on, wait a minute, let Mama open it. Ooh, interesting. It says it says a book of Pete's choice. We need to go and ask Pete to pick a book. Oh. Okay. You go take that to Daddy. Tell him that we need him to come up so he can pick a book. Yeah, you go grab him, okay? You go grab him. Okay, Pete is here to pick a book, so which one are you gonna pick? Out of all of the books you could possibly pick. He's also looking at my other bookshelf as well.
Heir of Storms.
Heir of Storms. Can you grab it for me? Because it's really tall. It's the one on the right hand side. Because that's the one on the left is not the actual cover. No. So he's picked Heir of Storms, which is a fairy loot, which is incredible, by the way. Obsessed. Okay. Thanks, babe.
Well,
Teddy is featured very heavily in this video. He's been an active participant, if you will. We're going to pick one more and then we will be done for the day. Pick this one, see what we have. An unpopular book. Okay, so when I was looking through my Kindle before, I actually saw something that I have never seen before on TikTok, never seen before on Instagram, never seen before on YouTube. However, it was recommended to me by Bestie Doe, honestly. So it may as well just be like a equal partner of this YouTube at this point. She recommended a book to me called Twinfluence, and she said it was amazing. So I feel like I need to give that a go. Never heard it being spoken about anywhere, so it kind of feels like it is an unpopular book called Twinfluence by Gracie Costello. I'll read the blurb out, just in case it is something that interests you. I think this is the cover. So it's one last twin swap, what could go wrong? 26-year-old Danny's identical sister calls her out of the blue with a colossal problem. Sophie needs to jet off to Mexico to save her friend from a botched tummy tuck, but her boss won't let her take any PTO. Danny, eager to repair their strained relationship, leaves her glamorous LA life behind as a top social media influencer to save the day. Danny's damn good at pretending to be her sister, but good enough to teach high school kids in rural Oklahoma. When Sophie gets stuck in Mexico for an entire month, Danny not only has to teach economics and life skills, but she also has to direct the school musical. And that boss Sophie hates so much? Yeah, it turns out Principal Beck is entirely too good looking and single for Danny to ignore. Rushed high school musicals, fiery school board politics, and cozying up to Sophie's boss definitely weren't on her sister's pre-approved syllabus, but Danny never was one for sticking to the plan. That actually sounds pretty good, so I'm kind of excited to read it. I know that Doe rated it 4 stars. I'm hoping that it's going to be a good book. But that is it for today's TBR. Let's see if I can quickly round this up before my camera battery runs out, because it is blinking at me. Okay, my camera ran out of battery, I won't lie to you, but I watched all the footage back whilst it was charging, and I made a list of everything that we picked for this month's TBR. We have 9 Kindle reads and 6 physical reads. Like I say, this is 15 books, but the likelihood is I won't get to all of them. In fact, I know I won't get to all of them. Like I say, any leftover potentially go into the pot for next month. Let's start with the Kindle reads. First of all, we have The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. We have The Nightingale and The Women, also by Kristen Hanna. We then have Daughter of Stone by B.A. Pepper. We have Twinfluence by Gracie Costello. We also have All In, Bad Blood and 12 by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And then we also have Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerry Maniscalco. I'm going to get it there eventually. And then we have our physical books. So first one is Wilder by Rebecca Yarros. We have Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. We have Wild Card by Elsie Silver. We have The Dare by Elle Kennedy. We also have Summer Island by Kristen Hanna. Whoops. And then we also have Air of Storms. Oh, I can't remember who this is by. Let me see. Lauren Hamilton Murray. This is the naked hardcover because this is how I display it. This is stunning. I still can't get over this. So those are the 15 books that we picked for our TBR in the month of October. We also overhauled books completely. I still have empty shelves because I still haven't revamped my bookcases. I will do eventually, and I'll probably do it for a video. If you want to see that, let me know. If you managed to get all the way to the end of this video, leave the little jar emoji in the comments so that I know that you watched all the way through. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you are subscribed. And you have that little notification bell turned on so that you know every time I post a video. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye!